He does.
And we're live. Oh, all right. I won't leave you hanging on, Rick. Here you go.
Welcome to The Nice Place to Brew with Jason and George, a show about all things beer and beer making. Gentlemen, please broadcast responsibly.
Well, that's pretty wild that it came through your phone instead, ain't it?
No, it was on his microphone, yeah.
Oh.
Welcome.
That's cool. Go ahead.
Welcome.
It's official now.
It is official now. Welcome to A Nice Place to Brew. I'm Jason.
I'm Paulie.
All right, we're in the middle of the intro, George. You got to go. I'm Jason. I'm Paulie.
And I'm George.
Well done, sir. Okay, this is our Thursday, June 4th webcast. We have a website, www.niceplacetobrew.com. We do this webcast every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have our social media links on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Nice Place to Brew and Nice Place to Brew. And we have an audio podcast that is available on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast from. I am done. Gentlemen, how are you tonight?
Excellent. How are you?
Doing all right. Yeah.
Doing good. What is everybody drinking tonight?
Anti-hero
Anti-hero.
from Revolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
George?
All right. In a show of solidarity, since I had to miss Monday's live cast, I am drinking a tall boy of Genesee Cream Ale.
All right. Cheers
Yeah.
to that. I'm drinking a beer courtesy of Polly. This is a Maibach.
Oh,
It's a Maibach.
Oh, Maibach from Summit?
Summit, yeah, from Summit Brewing Company. The story behind this, I learned over the last month, Paulie is probably the most popular guy in his neighborhood because people are stopping by, waving. It's awesome. As a matter of fact, I was standing in front of his porch, and a neighbor just happened to come by and said, "Hey, Paulie, we're cleaning out the fridge. Here's some free beers," and this was one of them. And Paulie was nice
Heard
enough
worse
that he handed
stories.
it off.
Yeah.
there were some gems in there. I found like what's that brewery in Kansas City? I always forget their name. Boulevard. Barrel aged something that was like 5 years old, which I can't wait to crack that bad boy. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So I just got a message from a listener. He was thinking he said we should do a worst beer style for a topic.
Worst
kind of
beer
fun.
style.
It would all be opinionated, so we
Okay.
usually
All right.
do.
Yeah. We are
So,
opinionated.
Well, hell,
we are
let's
very
just dive into this right now. I've got a lot to
Yeah, I
say
know.
about that.
Worst beer style.
Go ahead, guys. Hang on. I'll be. Go ahead.
Okay. In order
I'd
to
say
answer
Kolsch.
that, let's. That might be controversial, Paulie. I mean, really. I mean, you're casting a wide net with that. Kolsch?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what? I've tried. Maybe it's just one of them styles that after maybe in a while I'll finally get it and I'll start liking it and enjoy it. I was the same way. I didn't care for pilsners years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had a whole summer where I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get into these pilsners one way or another. And I tried every pilsner out there, going from Pilsner or Kel to craft. You know, didn't try a Miller because they claim that to be a pilsner. But I don't know about that. But then I learned I love pilsners now, and I love a good crisp, clean pilsner. It's almost like an IPL.
Yeah.
So what about you, Jason? What's the worst beer style for you?
You know what?
Wait, hang on. I missed Polly's. What style was it?
Kolsch.
Kolsch.
Oh, Kolsch.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, let me say before I say
All
mine,
right.
send all your hate mail to Polly, not to us here at the show.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
All right, thank you. Okay. Oh, it's interesting. Oh, so we have a listener comment who said they would vote for smoked beers and New England IPAs.
I know who that is.
Yeah, yeah. I tell
By the
you, you
name of
know
Eric?
what? Let me comment on that because one of George and I's early beers that we made that we were really proud of was an Imperial smoked porter that that was made from smoked grains that was made out of made from a charcoal grill out in George's backyard. And to this day, I'm really proud of that beer for good reason. We took second place with that beer.
Okay. What, Charlie Orr?
George, you're on mute.
Yes, I was very proud of that too. But I will echo a little bit of what he's saying that it's real easy to do smoked wrong.
I completely agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Here's mine. Worst beer style, and I'm pulling this directly from the BJCP guidelines and making this stance. I'm going with the Flanders Red.
Ooh, you don't like the sour reds?
No, hell no.
Oh man.
So
Huh?
if you loudly disagree with that, you can send hate mail directly to me. That's fine.
Well, what is it
I'll
about
take
it that because you do like sour beers? So
No,
long as I mean,
what?
there's a line.
What?
But what?
Do you know?
No, you don't like any
Do you
sour
not know
beers?
me?
All right, never mind. Well, but okay, so I thought in recent memory you've encountered some sour beers that you do like, and like me, you come around on that, but maybe not. Maybe you're still hating on the sours.
Listen, I will not deny that there's probably one or two sour beers that may sneak through my overall perception of them if they're light enough on the sourness scale. But for the most part, sour beer, listen, a sour beer is a beer that's gone bad. Plain and simple. I don't feel like it has a place in craft beer. I truly believe that.
So that whole 23 category is just no go for you.
Pretty much, yeah. And yes, I'm picking on Flanders, and that just became the convenient one. And well, so be it.
I think I agree with sour. So.
I can get that. So, George, what style do you not like?
Do I not like? I could go with the politically expedient statement of I like all beers, but there's good and there's bad beer. No, screw that noise. To be honest, it's not an official beer category, but more often than not, and it's along the lines of the reason they said smoke beer. More often than not, I think barrel aged beers lose the beerness of it, and that's my least favorite style. There's a way to do it right, but most people don't, in my mind.
Could he define beerness?
We define beerness.
Peanut Gallery, you could define beerness.
I never heard that term.
Well, okay, so I mean, when you drink a beer, you're either going to get malty flavor or hoppy flavor, but you're going to get like the beer malt characteristics. You're going to get a certain level of carbonation. You're going to get a certain mouthfeel to it. And a lot of times when you get a barrel aged, it hits you in the face with that spirit alcohol flavor and sharpness, and it that becomes the primary and not the beer aspect of it. That's what I mean by that. That's the beerness I'm talking about. Well
said. Look at this.
Yeah,
this
really.
is one of the best presentations of the BJCP style guidelines that I've seen.
I don't care for a few of them afterward.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow,
this is
that
pretty
looks
good.
really nice.
Yeah. It's condensed. You got everything just kind of with a quick scroll.
Where'd you find that?
On the BJCP website, bjcp.org.
Yeah. See, that makes sense.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we see anything that slipped by? Okay. Beer to Guard, I think, is a worthy choice. I will also express a disdain for the farmhouse ale style.
So you don't like saisons either?
You know what? A saison with the right amount of spice, I think, is okay. But those farmhouse ales that ferment at the really high temperature and just the flavor that comes with that just does not work for me at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I mean, for me, Beer to Guard and saison, I sometimes have trouble distinguishing them. I mean, they're so similar.
They are.
I mean,
yeah.
one's supposed more amber and the other's pale, but other than color, it's like, really, is there a difference here?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I remember winning a saison, like a special release saison at an event maybe 2 years ago. And I think the retail price of this beer was high. I mean, unfortunately, I could say that I didn't pay money for this beer, but I opened that beer and I don't think I've ever pitched a beer faster in my life. Yeah, it was not good.
Put in a really shitty location.
Let's
One
see.
side did about 8 inches.
There's a couple in here I still haven't had.
Yeah, I've never had the what is it? Grodesk. I've never heard of that one. So it's a wheat beer.
That's it's a Polish beer.
Which one? Puo?
The Puo, yeah.
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 Never had that one before.
No, I haven't either. I drink it though.
You know what?
It's wow. Okay.
If we're gonna ask what is the worst beer categories, I'm gonna go with 28 and 29 across the board. Just any goddamn thing you want, and you threw fruit in it. Like, come
on. Look at this. Variable.
That's what I'm saying.
Across
like
the board. I don't think that fits into the conversation. It just
yeah.
And I think we've talked about this before. I would hate to be a beer judge assigned to this category because all you have to go on is your own personal tastes. That's
right.
It.
You could have an IPA with orange in it alongside of a stout with friggin' some other fruit that I'm having trouble thinking of right now.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to judge that?
Right. Exactly. There's no way. What's okay? I'm seeing in the comments horse blanket. Oh boy, I need some context around this.
I think that's about the farmhouse. You sometimes get that horse blanket.
All right.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, it's nasty.
It's nasty.
That's it.
I actually got a silver medal in the specialty category last year with my with Polish Chuck, my hazy, because they weren't following the most recent guidelines, which is I believe in 2018 the BJCP added like 3 or 4 categories for the hazy categories, hazy, juicy, and all that, and then all these competitions are still following 2015 guidelines.
So a lot of places still do. Yeah,
I'm confused by that. I would have thought there would be a more widely available update since 2015.
Well, even what you grabbed off their website was 2015.
It was, yeah.
I mean, the 2018 style. I mean, it's like when Windows ME came out. No one wanted it for some reason. I don't know why, but no one wants that style guide. Everybody's stuck on the 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is. This beer is so good.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this Genesee Cream Ale.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, I wouldn't shake a stick at it.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I think you and I talked outside of the show about that beer this week, didn't we?
We did.
That the regular Genesee is not seen in a good light, but the cream ale is very sought after. Yeah. Like it's pretty much the Western New York's version of Spotted Cow.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, it was brought up, and I think it's an interesting idea about planning a side-by-side taste test of those two beers.
Of Spotted Cow
and Genesee Cream Ale.
And Genesee Cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll work on that.
Yeah, I have to go to Wisconsin. Actually, I gotta get up there anyway because they got that new they released back a couple months ago. Oh, what was it? It's along their fruit beer categories, but it was a mixture of like 3 different types of beer. I'm sure you wouldn't be into it because it was all their sours and fruit beers. It was a blend
Well,
they did.
That was right because that's new. That's New Glarus, and they're uppity and don't want to distribute into Illinois, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't leave the state. They don't leave. They don't go anywhere but Wisconsin.
Right.
They haven't left the state of Wisconsin yet.
Like usually every family.
So yeah, uppity. Screw them.
Uppity.
Although they have a beautiful bathroom. They got a beautiful beer garden though. If you've never been to the beer garden, you should at least go once. At least go once.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been there. Yeah.
Drive up there like at least once a month.
Oh yeah.
But
This Maibach is pretty solid, Paulie.
good. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Where's this from? St.
Summit,
Paul, Minnesota.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually,
All
Summit's
right. Right on.
they've been very solid. Everything I've had from them, I really enjoyed. I'm just not
Well,
a
you know
fan of the Maibach.
Yeah, I went to the Summit Brewery once while I was up there.
I was
on
gonna
my-
say, I thought that had come up in conversation.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yeah. It's been a while because I haven't been to Minnesota in a long time.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. So, is that the first chance you're having right there, George?
First in a long time. You know, I grew up in Pennsylvania, so I was familiar with Genesee.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's the first I've had in a long time.
I just never heard of it until we started talking about it.
Yeah.
I had the cream ale over here, but last Monday I had to leave early because stuff going on in the Chicago area, and so when I got home, I drank the light lager too, which I thought was very good. Haven't tried the Kolsch yet, but we all know how I feel about Kolsch's, so it's gonna probably stay in the fridge for right next to that Natty Ice set. I probably never drink it unless I'm drunk.
I gotta tell you, I was quite surprised at how pleasant the Natty Ice was, at least at first taste.
How many beers did you have before you had the Natty Ice?
I mean, the equivalent of maybe 3/4.
All right.
Yeah. I thought I was, like George, you remember our episode in January where we did the similar beer side by side comparison. Mm-hmm. We had that one sip of Ice House and we were like, get this away from me right away. I was expecting another one of those. And I tell you, Natty Ice, I will tip my hat to, was a much stronger performance.
Right.
See, Paulie, remember I was saying talent, performance, talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's just like
I don't know if I've ever actually had natural ice.
I mean, I won't say go run out and drink it.
That wasn't my plan. No.
You have much better beer in your house, I guarantee you. But
and for the first time, I have homemade craft seltzer too, not hard seltzer.
It's done.
Just right. It's done. It's
oh
carbonated.
Wow. Okay.
Turned out well.
Let's talk. Talk. Can you walk us through the process?
Well, yeah. I can walk you through the process in like 2 steps.
Okay.
It was lime juice and water in my mini keg. Okay. And I'm still playing with how much to put in this one.
How much lime?
How much lime, exactly. So and this was fresh lime juice that we used. So
you bought the regular limes and squeezed it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we juiced regular limes. And for 2 gallons, I believe it was, I used about a third of a cup of lime juice and then put it on carbonation. And then a little while later, I just tried it tonight, and I need to up the carbonation a little bit more to get true like seltzer water. But it's basically beer level carbonation right now, and tastes pretty good. So,
right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Hannah got a bunch of latch top bottles that haven't been tainted with beer or anything, and we're gonna fill those up to have that in the house so we can,
That's
have
awesome.
that a ready supply. Yeah,
That's awesome. Okay. Well, that's literally 2 steps:
yeah,
water,
super easy.
squeeze limes, and carbonate.
Yep.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
I want to, I don't have a live example that I can show you, but I am a big fan of these carbonated waters that have artificial food coloring in them. And they're widely sold across grocery stores, oftentimes in private label brands. But I think it's just absolutely great. I feel like that's going to be my next mini keg experiment.
With the seltzer water.
Seltzer type water, yeah.
Seltzer type water, yeah. You're gonna have to crank up the carbonation.
Fine,
and,
fine.
Yeah,
I've got the setup for it.
yeah.
I still got a lot of root beer to go through though.
I was talking. Speaking of carbonation, one of the things that I ran into recently was I was talking with some people online on Reddit about using a manifold versus using a multi connected regulator, so you can have different pressures. And it's like I the one drawback to just having a manifold is you're stuck with one pressure. And somebody pointed out, and I ended up looking it up, and they actually make inline limiters. It's not like a true regulator, but you put it in line after your manifold, and you can turn down.
I think I've seen those before. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually considering
I've seen
getting one or two to try it out, and because it would be nice. Because if I crank it up for the seltzer, then all of a sudden my beer might be overcarbonated. So I'm thinking about getting one of those so I can try that out.
I know this is cheating the system, but can you get away with just kind of partially closing off the valves that should be using less pressure?
I don't know.
I
I see
certainly
where
at
you're
a-
going with that,
Yeah.
but that would limit the flow, but not the total pressure.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the school of thought is that you've already achieved the final pressure that you need, and you just
Right.
need to maintain a level of pressures just so you can push it through the tubes.
Right. Polly, what are your thoughts on that as the
Yeah, you know
shop?
what? With the shop guy, I mean, like, I would like to see what you're talking about with the splitter, the manifolds, that you could do the adjustments on those. But the only problem with that is, like, if you're trying to say say it's a three line one, you're carbon one of them, and you're like doing 20, 30 pounds. How are you going to know exactly what psi you're going to have
Yeah.
on your pouring? That's my only
Right.
question about that one. Like at Brew and Grow with the setup that we have. Actually, I'm going back this weekend, so I'll take a couple pictures of our setup in our Keezer, and we have the inline manifolds, and those things are so nice. They really are, because it's just nipples in between each one, and each keg has got its own separate regulator, and all you gotta do is just crank it wide open off the tank.
Right. So
So-
here, let me share my screen here. I can show you what I'm talking about. So, Jason, let me know when it's shared.
Yeah, it's shared.
Okay, great. So this is what it is. It's not a manifold. So you put this in after the manifold. So this would come off the manifold in through this guy and then out to your keg. And this dial here you turn down, and however much you turn it down, that's how much is going to decrease the pressure that your keg ends up receiving. So it's not so much.
The pictures.
It's
Go on.
pictures.
Finish what you're saying.
So no, sorry. Go ahead.
It's blurry to me.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just so it
not
actually
it's
has
not
dial
a,
like 10, 20 people.
Here, let me do this then, because it might. That might be my. You guys know my connection. Jason, pull that up and share that on yours.
Paul.
Yeah.
I often wondered why nobody put a regulator.
Is there a link being sent to me
In the private chat.
Like
in the
right
private chat? Where is
have
the
its
private
own-
chat?
No.
Where is the private chat? What are you
It's
doing?
right beside
Warren?
the live chat.
Oh,
Not bad. Good point.
my setup is not what you would normally picture.
Okay. All right.
So. No, that's fine. I found it. I got it.
You
I got
found it.
I got
Okay,
I got
good.
Yeah.
All right. I was
Yeah,
thinking of
yeah.
another way I could send it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that thing looks to be very nice. It was just being able to control what PSA you're using, so you know,
Right.
like you
So-
have 10 pounds or whatever it is.
And that was the only drawback is you'd have to test the pressure at the keg rather than because it doesn't actually say I'm reducing it by this much or anything like that. So you have to
10,
test the
20 pounds
pressure.
with-
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you dial it down, you'd have to test the pressure at the keg.
Can you see it?
So
I
is that
can't. Can
better?
you actually blow the picture up? Is it, yeah, I can. Okay, I see. Now, how do you adjust it? Is that a
You see that
dial I
little
see?
that dial in the center. You turn that I
Okay.
think with a screwdriver.
Oh, okay, that makes sense now. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would work. Like I said, we're
Secondary.
using
Oh, okay.
yeah, you just have to play with it to figure out what it is, or maybe have empty kegs so you can at least test it, and then maybe have that line. Because if I was going to use something like that, you keep it at like say 30 pounds, 20, 30 pounds that you'd be using for carbonation, and then you could restrict it down. Oh yeah, you can use one of those
Right.
things.
So it's just a
That would work.
resistor. That's all it is.
That's pretty
Yeah.
much all it is. This is a
Yeah.
resistor, exactly.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, and then and then you put that in line, and then you can have with just one manifold, you can have multiple different pressures inside of a kegerator. So if you have a
Did you look at this?
seltzer and a stout and a Scottish export, they can all be at different carbonations.
Pressure, yeah. And
So look at this from kegfactory.com. I got to hand it to you, Keg Factory. You're offering financing on a $9 purchase, 4 interest-free payments of $2.25.
I'll take 4 of them.
Hey,
Hey, you know, that's what it is right now.
Christmas
Oh
layaway?
man, that's a good one. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
but yeah,
Oh wow. I shouldn't be laughing this hard, but anyway. No, that's awesome. That makes I totally get it.
yeah. I mean, that's my So it's either that or do you get an additional T for your regulator and then run an additional line in, so
Right.
all the way from your CO2 tank. Yeah, it's a little bit more clumsy.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, because you could always have a port right off the manifold to where you can have that, and then have something where you just screw in your pressure regulator, or quick connected, or something like that.
That
Right.
certainly
Because-
would be a more ideal setup, like what
Right.
Brew and Grow has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the separate regulator for each one is really nice because
I totally get it.
I have a two regulator gauges that I bought years ago, and I loved it to death because I could literally be kegging or carbonating one beer and pouring off the other, and then if I wanted to just get like a splitter or a tea or a manifold, and then I can have like 2 or 3 beers rolling off the same one.
Right.
So
Yeah, the way that I have in the past sliced that is I tend to keep my, and this is why it isn't working for the seltzer per se, but I tend to keep my regulator at about 13 psi, and then it takes
Okay.
longer to carbonate my beer, but it does work, and then I don't have to worry about turning it down to serving pressure or anything like that.
Actually, I'm
and
glad
then-
we're talking about this. I don't follow that, but I'm interested in both your opinions about how we're all doing this. So,
Okay.
Paulie, what's your take on that? If you kept it a straight 13, like George was saying, do you think that gets you to where you need to go, and do you think that finishes the way it should?
It does. It just takes longer because we've got friends in the club where they do. A lot of people call it like the slow carbonation, where they'll use it at 10 psi and let it sit like a week and a half.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
maybe I'm just stuck in my old ways. I like my beer in a couple of days, so I'll do it like 20, 30 psi.
Yeah.
Test it after 2 days, and if I want more, then I'll just do more. But like I said, the only problem with that is you got to remember to bleed your goddamn keg beforehand, or you got beer shooting out of your serving line. Like,
True enough.
Come on here, guys.
Yeah, no,
that's the way.
yeah.
I mean, and since working at Brew and Grow, I even bought one of those, which are very nice. I bought a carb stone that it has a special cap for a corny cap on it, where it just carb stone just sits in the beer, and I can have that ready in 2-3 hours, drinkable in 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not in that much of a rush, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're really if you're running out of time and you need to get it ready for a competition or something, I get it. But under normal circumstances, what's a week, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, well, the way I look at it is when you look at almost every pro brewery, that's how they carb it. They have carb stones in every one of their bright takes or their keg. You know, that's. I mean, you got to keep in mind the way I was taught, and I took everything from pro scale and brought it down to homebrew scale. And when I first saw those carb stones, I thought they were expensive. I'm like, yeah, well, maybe one time when I get extra money. And then about 5 years ago, I got the job at Brew and Grow, and I got the awesome discount. And I was like, okay, I can justify spending that. Now it's only like $40 at a $70. So
right.
But
so
I mean, either which way works.
So Jason, what are you doing to carb your beer?
I carb at about between 20 and 25. And then once I'm satisfied I've reached the right carbonation level, I bring it down to about 8 or 9. And 8 or 9 is pretty much my resting PSI.
Okay.
Like, I mean, if I went out to my kegerator right now, that's where it's sitting.
Okay. So when you're carbonating, you turn it up. And then do you have Paulie's issue that you have to like bleed the keg a little bit just to make sure you're not over pressurizing your first couple drafts?
Is there an overpressure issue? There can be.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm forming more of an understanding around that to manage that better.
Okay.
So I'll get there.
All right.
Oops.
I just hate it. You got that fine line to being undercarbed. Or here's a great example. Here's a great story. A few years ago, when the club, they used to, Marseilles, Illinois, their homebrew club, they have a homebrew fest. And I had a beer that I was bringing to this festival. And it was one of those nights I went out on a Tuesday, Wednesday night to go, hook up the keg and everything, start carbonating it. And that Saturday morning, I went out there to check it. I had it all hooked up. I never turned the tank on.
Oh.
So, so here I am, 45-minute ride to Marseille or Ottawa, and I'm driving, and every now and then I just lean over in my truck, shake the keg a little bit. And so I went from having a flat beer to an overcarb beer in 45 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly doable. Yeah. Oh, man.
I'll totally never forget that. I'm like, all right, this thing was flat when I got here. I hooked it up to trash can kegger, and I'm overcarb. All right. It is. I just got to deal with it right now.
So we have a couple different opinions here. So if anybody is listening now or happens upon this later, throw into the comments what do you do to carbonate your kegs? Assuming you're kegging your beer and not doing bottle conditioning.
Right.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever keg condition? I've heard about that a lot, but I've never done that.
When this first started and it was out there that CO2 might be an issue, getting it might be an issue, I seriously considered it with a beer that I was making is, throw in some corn sugar in the keg and carbonating it that way, and then just using the CO2 to push it. That way I could conserve how much CO2 I was using. But it turned out that there was enough CO2 and it turned out to be a relative non-issue. So I didn't actually end up going forward with that, but that's a perfectly viable thing that I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing I've heard, there's two ways to do that now, which I don't know if you've heard about the floating dip tube now, which I just found out about this about 2 or 3 months ago, which I think is amazing. But then the other thing is, every time I've heard anybody ever talk about keg conditioning, you got to cut at least an inch off the bottom of your dip tube because you got all that sediment at the bottom of it, so you'll pick all that up.
Yeah, and that used to be the whole thing: is you cut your beer dip tube, but then you end up leaving some at the bottom, But with these floating ones, you don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw how they work. I might end up ordering myself one just because it'd be a fun toy to play with,
Yeah.
Floating
Jason,
dip tube.
Have you seen these?
No.
Yeah. So it's basically like you ever do bobber fishing?
From like way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. You have a little bobber near the end of the dip tube. It's a flexible dip tube, and the dip tube then points down in the beer, but it remains like floating towards the top of the beer and then goes down towards the bottom.
I'll be damned.
As you
see
use
it.
the beer.
I see it.
Yeah. So for people that are worried about sediment at the bottom of their keg or anything like that, yeah.
You can here you go. I found it.
By the end of it, I was taking a little fucking
Yep, that's it.
Torpedo, keg, buoy, floating dip tube. You can you can finance it with 4 interest-free payments of $450.
So
he's not getting over this. Do they have any pictures of it kind of like in action?
Let's see. No, it doesn't look like it. So this is a standard top, and this would go right in the top. Okay, so I get that. Oh, I see.
And then the ball side, the ball floats. Yeah.
They all float.
Yeah, I wish there was a more action shot of that too.
Yeah.
But no, that makes perfect sense. I like that. Jeez, I may pull the trigger on this.
Well, I mean, do you have $450 for this month?
Okay, so you're all laughing about this too. Okay. Yes,
of course.
I can spare $450 this month. Yes.
Ooh, hey. I'm gonna send you this because this is and it's in the private chat. It is a YouTube video of the floating dip tube in action. So you gotta share it so we can see it.
All right.
Cordless electric, that would lend itself easily to do what you were talking about.
All right, gentlemen, you ready?
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do with that was get a block of ice in the wintertime. That'd be so. I've always wanted to do that.
and
Make you a great big boom.
I'd be a whole statue. I'd make you the woman in your dreams. Tell me what she looks like. I'll draw her out. If that's what you like, I'd make it out of stone.
So
it just shows it dropping.
yeah, it just shows it dropping as it's being used, but you can see it staying off the bottom, and there you can see the end of it coming into frame now.
You're traveling into another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
You can see the fluid level there too. All right.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
I mean, it's really kind of nifty.
I mean, it definitely is. I think this is a very cool product.
Yeah.
I think my only concern with it would be cleaning of it. I guess. I mean, would you let it soak in your keg when you're cleaning it, or you have to take it apart to clean it? Or?
That's a good question.
What I tend to do is when I'm cleaning my keg and sanitizing it, put the sanitizer in and I'll shake it around. Then I'll hit it with a little CO2 and suck the sanitizer through my beer beer line just to clean that out real quick.
Yeah.
So I mean, I imagine you could do the same here. You
Yeah.
know?
You could. Yeah, but then I guess it would work. Maybe it's just a new product. It'd be one of those things we'd have to play with to actually figure out what would work for us. The best. Actually, I know a guy in the club has one. I could actually talk to him about that.
How about a product episode?
Well, we may have to do that.
You guys hear this?
Yeah.
No, I can't hear it.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how to get the audio to work.
Yeah, she's talking about how to install
Yeah,
one.
how to install it. Now I want to see this.
Yeah, I think you run it through the beer line and then you connect it at the end where the ball is. Because obviously
So you put it down in the post.
I'm sure you're right. All you have to connect is the ball.
Right. You connect the ball to the end. Otherwise, it runs in like a dip tube.
Okay.
And I'm sure Jason's only watching this video because he wants to know how to install the beer line. Has nothing to do with the demonstrator.
How to install the beer line?
When he's done making his $4 payments.
Yeah, like 16 years ago.
So
how many views does this video have?
8,000.
With the really hot, it's kind of like a little.
Yeah. But anyway, so floating dip tubes.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god! This video is way longer than I thought it was. Okay, yeah. So it detaches right from the tube itself.
Right, and then you just feed it through
so she's
the beer.
Yeah.
And taking out the square.
Oh. What did that start out as?
Oh.
One big square block.
Square block.
Yeah.
A brown wax.
There you go.
Well,
yeah, that makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Luck of the draw, you
got
kind
it.
of got to look at it and
Okay.
see where you figure you get the best results. I kind of, if the black
But
was
yeah.
turned a little bit more.
All right, that's
a lot
that.
better file to it,
That's that.
but
I need another beer. Can you guys hold the fort
You
down?
need another beer?
Yeah.
I think we can, Paulie. I think
All
we
right.
can.
Yeah, we can hold the fort down. Go get your beer.
I'm still
got
working
any-
on my tall boy here. You know.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I learned a little secret. I keep a little 6-pack cooler right here by where I'm sitting, so I don't have to
Okay.
until I run out of thus that 6-pack.
Yeah. We went and did trivia night at a local brewery last night. Had some fish and chips and and they made actually a really good one. It's a amber ale that they made with London ale yeast. So it has some of that kind of brown ale London ale character, but other than that, it's a regular American amber. So it was actually a pretty good play on that, and it was really clean. I was very happy with it.
I should have squared off the back.
Yeah.
Everything finally got opened up this week in Joliet, so I spoiled myself. I went to Chicago Street a couple times, and I went to a local brewery. I went to Elder because they got a beer garden out back behind their building now, so I had to go help out people.
Yeah, it's starting to open up. Yeah, starting to open up around here, and these guys, they during the initial quarantine, they built some really big and a bunch of them. They have like a dozen, I think 8-foot long picnic tables outside in their beer garden area. So it gives you plenty of outdoor seating to be able to kind of space out a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, like Chicago Street, the city's allowing them to use a sidewalk for outdoor patio or parking, sitting, and they probably have like 8 or 9 tables out there.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
it's kind of nice to feel there and feel a little bit normal for a change, and not hiding in the back drinking a quick beer while your food's getting made or something like that.
yeah. Nah, it's like I said, things are starting to return to a little bit of normalcy, but I'm glad we're doing it slowly and smartly. So yeah.
Yeah, well, everything's all fine.
Sorry.
I was gonna say everything's all fine and dandy here in Chicago until everything got crazy on Saturday night or Sunday
Well,
night. So
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
yeah.
We did not win our trivia night, but we had a respectable score.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't done too much trivia. I mean, I like to. I saw one place one time did Simpsons trivia, and I was like, oh man, if we could get a Simpsons trivia, I got the perfect team. I got the perfect team lined up already.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. We've got some Simpsons super fans in the club.
Yeah.
Between the club and my Simpsons junkie friends, I mean, I feel sorry for any other team out there.
Yeah. Yeah, they could stand with the best of them. I totally believe that.
Yeah. I got a lot of trivial knowledge in my head, but so you'd think it would work for a trivia thing like that, but no, it doesn't.
That's kind of right where I'm at. It's like I love trivia, but I seem to always suck at it.
Right.
When you're sitting there playing and they ask you that question, and you're like, yeah, I think I know this. But the only time I ever did really good on one is Chicago Street's got trivia night once a month. They had a movie one night, and I'm kind of a movie buff, so we did pretty good. We came from dead last to second place in 2 rounds between our team.
Yeah, I mean, I can sit here and name some super obscure Batman villains for seemingly no reason whatsoever, but it's trivia nights are like a bane to me.
What's the greatest
not
trivia?
an obscure Batman
Let me ask this: What's the craziest trivia question you've ever been asked that you can recall?
Oof.
Oh, that's a
tough one.
good one.
Yeah.
Last
It's
night,
so good,
the dude was he said who was the 24th president of the United States? Do you know that one?
Ooh. Okay.
Cleveland?
Let me take a shot. Oh God, that's a really good guess. All right, George, tell me, is that the one? Is that it? Grover
Which
Cleveland?
one?
Grover Cleveland?
I think
okay. If it's not, then don't tell me. I'm going to take a shot.
Okay, all right. You take a shot, and I'll.
Well, first tell me,
what is it?
Is it Grover Cleveland or not?
It is Grover.
Oh
Cleveland.
shit! Okay, so why
Cleveland.
am I wasting my time?
So then, yeah, fair enough. So then, in the next round, he did a true false round.
Okay.
And he said, true or false, was Grover Cleveland the 22nd president of the United States?
The answer is yes.
So, of course, everybody, yeah.
Yes.
Trick question, because he was both.
Yes. Yes. He's the one president with 2 presidential tenures.
Yeah. And we all forgot that. And so we failed at that one.
Oh,
too.
okay.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only president with 2 non-consecutive terms. So.
Correct. Yeah.
I thought it was 24 and 26, not 22 and 24.
Yeah.
I knew it was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where were you guys last night?
Is that when your trivia night was last night?
Last night.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was cleaning beer lines on a kegerator last night. That's where I was at. You can always call me.
That's important. They didn't have a phone a friend option.
I was watching a series on Netflix called Money Heist.
Hannah's been watching that. That is a trippy series.
It's intense. It's intense. I'm watching it in Spanish, and Candy's watching it at the same pace as me too. So,
okay,
yeah. So I'm trying to improve my language skills, but with the subtitles. But you know how that goes.
Yeah. Oh man,
I miss doing trivia now. Jeez.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do it more because they do it every Wednesday night. So,
is this a place I know to host it?
You haven't been there yet, but it's
okay.
Unionville Brewing. It's the one around the
okay.
from me.
Oh, they're back in doing trivia. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. They have food trucks 3 nights a week right now, and so they're really doing it up right now.
Very cool. Good for them. Unionville Brewing. Can he join us here on the webcast?
He has expressed an interest and just needs to get a little bit of time on his hands, but I'm going to try to get him on.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Done with trivia?
Done with trivia.
Done with trivia. So I was thinking about this as we're talking about what is the worst beer style, and then the logical next question is, okay, what is the best beer style? But I think that's boring. So what is your favorite beer style to make? I think is a more interesting question.
Ooh, that is a good one.
I would
I
say
mean, that's-
American Pale.
Yeah.
That's me personally, because
Which
I
one?
love to play with a hop. American Pale, because I love to be
American
able
Pale.
to play with IBUs. Like I always play with the IBUs on it when I'm doing
Right.
that, because a lot of my beers that I make, I actually follow the APA guidelines, even when I'm making so-called IPA. I always follow the APA because I like the low bitterness and all the hop and flavor and aroma at the back end. To me, I like that a lot more than that nasty, danky bitterness that you feel in the back of your taste buds that lingers for 3 hours when you're sitting at home drinking as much water as possible and trying to get rid of it.
Try and get rid of it. Yeah.
When I'll drink cans, and I'll be fine.
Okay, Jason. What about you?
I'm gonna make a bit of an odd choice with this, and I'm gonna go with Marzen
Marzen.
Lager.
Okay.
Yeah, a beer I've made
Okay.
twice before. I love the malt forward flavor of it, and the lagering process to me just is long, but I don't find it to be more difficult than what an ale goes through. So
Okay. Yeah, I
So-
buy that.
that's
So
what I think.
I'm along the same lines. As you. I was gonna say my favorite beer to make is a Pilsner because of how much
All right.
technique it takes,
Ah.
and how fickle it is, So
That's a worthy choice.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll cheers to that.
Okay.
I give
Yeah.
that the buy on that. I need to build a fermentation chamber. I need to start making lagers. That's my next thing. I want to start making
Okay.
some more of those. I've only
Yeah.
made one true lager in my whole 10 years of brewing. So I always cheat and use the 2112 when I want something kind of lagerish. So
I
Use
see.
Make a
California
steam
lager
beer.
use.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got all the equipment to make it. I just need to actually just get out there and get in my damn garage and do it. I mean, I have a unused kegerator. I have a digital temperature control. I have everything that needs to be done.
So
I
what
just
needs
gotta-
to, yeah, what is it that needs to be done then? Sounds like you're there.
I just got to pretty much plug the temperature controller into the wall and plug the kegerator in. That's all I really got to do.
Okay. I trust you. I trust
Polly-
you to get this done, Polly.
Polly, a wise
Oh,
man
my-
once said, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
Oh, that's great. So I guess my question with that, since you guys have made lagers, when you're chilling it, do you actually chill it all the way down to 40 degrees, or do you get it down to like 60 and let it go down to 40 overnight?
No, I'll drop mine 3 to 5 degrees per day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you get it down as cold as you can off your however way you're chilling it from your,
Yeah.
and then you just drop it a couple degrees
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's kind of how I
But do
do
you
it too.
pitch it at the same time, or do you wait till you get to pitching temperature and then pitch it?
You broke up there. Can you say that again?
Do you pitch the yeast right away, or do you wait till it gets down to yeast operating temperature, like 40 to 60 or whatever?
You know what? I think in the past I've done that at a regular room temperature. I would not do that again, though. Knowing what I know now and the fact that I'm doing starters with everything, I would definitely wait until the temperature with the yeast and the starter was on par with what I'm pitching it into.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that. Yeah. And so the way I've done that is I've done my starter and then I just allow my starter to decant along with the cooling of the of the lager, the initial cooling of the lager. And that way when you pitch it, it's at the same temperature as the beer, so you don't shock the yeast. The only drawback to that is you have to make sure that you don't in your starter isn't getting into the air in your keezer, because you can start that fermentation process early
Yeah.
and not have a full pitch.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
I actually have an airlock for my Erlenmeyer flask for that reason.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that is such a wild story that happened for you.
Yeah, that definitely did happen. I turned around and all of a sudden my beer's fermenting, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm pitching. So,
Right?
Can I help you with some shit? Like,
That
How
is
you, how
funny.
you how you feeling about that cream ale? You liking it?
yeah, it's pretty solid for what it is. I mean, it's nothing. You're not gonna travel, thousands of miles to get one, but it's pretty solid.
Black people live across the street from me.
And you know what?
I'll
I
definitely
like the simplicity of the can too.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Asked the landlord to fucking do it. We didn't wait for someone else to fucking like, oh, I'll do it for you.
What were you gonna say, Paulie?
Did the work yourselves.
Nothing.
No.
I'm saying I like it too.
Oh
No.
no, technically, I need exactly what the fuck.
So Eric commented that his favorite style to make is a stout. I wonder why. Eric, if you're still listening, why is your favorite style the stout?
Now, is that to make or to drink? Let's be clear about this.
Well,
I
the
think
question
to
was
make.
to make, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming that
Yeah.
he went with that. Yeah.
It's worth putting out there, though. I mean, I would answer differently for what's my favorite beer to drink.
Right, and I would
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I would say a Belgian probably would be my favorite to drink. But
I would go with the Scotch ale.
you go with the Scotch ale?
I really would. Yeah, that was controversial. I brought that up a couple shows ago, and Scott in particular. Yeah, I mean,
Not a
Scott,
fan.
a frequent contributor, was not a fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Level ceiling, and then
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't have a favorite to drink. I guess it all just depends on how I'm feeling and what my taste buds are, what
Yeah.
time of year it is. Because if it's wintertime, all of a sudden all the dark and strong beers taste good to me. Summertime, I drink all the light summertime beers. And if this is the Eric I'm thinking of that's been tuning in for a while, he's a big stout guy. And him and I have made it.
It was like the pool's not level.
Like that last beer that we made for that Sean and I won Big and Dark competition with. Him and I made this a couple years prior, and we went as far as we used coffee, vanilla beans, and then we soaked all those into bourbon before we aged all that on there. And it actually turned out to be pretty goddamn good.
Nice.
So
I'm right there with you, Eric. I'm a big stout guy myself, so cheers to that. I have a flavor profile that I have in my head that I'm always trying to get.
Okay.
My brother,
That's a very worthy answer. He's trying to
think so, too.
achieve a certain flavor profile on a stout, which, I mean, stouts are complex when you think about it, especially from a flavor profile perspective, and that can mean a lot of different things. So
True.
I get that. Yeah.
degrees.
actually,
I like
we got a stout going right now. Excited about. Should be ready in a couple weeks. Hopefully, we were thinking it might get infected, but we don't know. We'll find out.
Where's it fermenting? At your place?
No, it was over at Sean's house, and he
Okay.
texted me the other day. I don't know if maybe it got airlock or the sanitizer got sucked down the airlock, or when I was carrying it down, it splashed out. But when he went down there to go move it around, he noticed there was no air or nothing in the airlock.
Mhm.
So we were just a little concerned about that. But we won't know until we send it through and put it. We'll find that out when that time comes.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's aging right now. We just let it sit for a while. It was brewed probably like 3 weeks ago. We're gonna let it age, let all those flavors meld together.
Nice.
It's a great pressure stout one that we've been making a few times. So
we were hanging out. We were doing.
So
Okay.
Eric has a trivia question for us, and I'm gonna pose this here on the webcast. How many parking spots are there at the Mall of America?
You let me know that before I picked her up.
That's a great trivia question.
That's just
Oh man,
So I thought I had this over. Now, Amy's ex.
I feel like it's a big number.
Oh, it's huge.
Never
Yeah.
been to the Mall of America.
No,
so-
I haven't either. George might have. He's
Yeah,
I mean, he's-
it's absurdly large. It is a behemoth of capitalism. Let me tell you that.
behemoth of capitalism.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was somewhere along the lines of like
Started wrenching away on the car.
2,500.
Together and put it back together.
I figured it'd be
Man,
more.
Okay, let's put this into perspective.
in the door. I was coming out of the garage.
A typical hockey arena will fit 20,000 people.
Putting this car back together.
So I would think
True.
the parking lot of those would be 4,000 to 5,000.
Right, but the United Center also never has enough parking spaces.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. No, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, all right. So
beer bottles lying around or whatever. And it's
So-
not shit.
1,000 to 1,500 spots for an arena,
I don't
Yeah.
know if you're
probably fair. Okay,
Maybe, yeah.
so
because I used to.
I'm gonna take a wild guess here.
Oh,
And I think it's going to be a very specific number. So I'm going to go with 2222.
He's like,
2222. Polly, what do you
Yeah.
think?
he's like,
I'm gonna go way above you guys. I'm gonna say
yeah.
there's at least like
I was
maybe
thinking every time
3
I
to
touched
4
the
grand,
puck,
maybe
everyone in the
5.
arena heard the
If
word
there's
Three
that,
to four grand.
if the mall's that big, I mean, do they
It
have
is that big.
Do they
It's
have
got a
parking
friggin'
spots?
roller coaster in it.
Yeah, I know that. But does it have a parking garage? Is it all like
He does have a parking garage, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
you get a lot of parking spots when you stack them on top of each other like that?
True,
Yeah.
true.
Why are you here?
Okay, so you're saying 4 to 5. You're saying 2222.
Mhm.
I said 2,500, and somebody has to bet $1, I assume. But you
That's what
know,
you said?
All right.
All right.
All right,
Eric,
Eric.
what is
What is
the
it?
answer, Eric?
Hockey, like, it's kind of like the same, like you know, when you're in the military, you gain.
Or I
a
may have to
certain
look this up myself. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'll
in
text it.
hockey, you gain
Okay.
Oh,
certain sense of humor.
I'm on it.
So, all right. Good.
he gets within 50 of the answer. Surprisingly, wow, that's impressive.
Like that.
Holy
It's
shit.
Holy crap! 12,550.
Yeah. No.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a
All
lot.
right.
Jeez.
I told you this thing is a behemoth of capitalism. Yeah.
Back together, you drove for another 6
Yeah. We were way
That
off.
is. Yeah.
It was.
And part of me wanted to say 10, but I'm like, no, that's just way out there. No, you can't do
Right.
that many.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Oh. Holy cow.
Well, I was the closest without. No, Collie, you were the
yeah,
closest. without going over.
Polly had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
12,550.
He didn't pull out
Crap.
was the
Yeah.
black train.
Oh,
All right, that was
Okay.
kind of fun.
that was
They
great.
don't
Yeah.
pull over. The
Back to
main
my
bearings-
question. What are other crazy trivia questions that you've been asked? Here, I just thought of one. This is not beer related. This is coffee related.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Went to,
So
The
let's do
coffee bean, the first coffee bean plant was produced in what country?
When I started degreasing everything, I'm like, oh, fuck, dude.
Oh,
bean.
Yeah,
first coffee bean?
Yes.
But it was great. Now if I put everything together.
Now, when it was posed to me, I was given 4 choices, and I don't know if I could on the fly come up with 4 choices. But if you absolutely need it, I'll try.
Okay. All right.
said- Argentina. That's what I'm thinking.
Argentina. Yeah, I'm
Alright.
thinking somewhere down in that area too. I'm gonna say Colombia.
No, you're on the
No?
wrong continent. Try again.
Oh, damn. Ethiopia.
You got it, Ethiopia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had that in my
Nice
head too,
call.
but it didn't
Nice
sound
call.
right. Yeah.
I was going to say something in Asia, to be honest with you, not Africa.
didn't care too much.
I can't
That's
remember
it.
where I was. I mean, I was way wrong on that question, and I felt bad because I've certainly grown to love coffee a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Every Friday.
Well, that makes sense. Like when you go to Starbucks, they have
Shows like that customer.
that Ethiopian blend
So,
that strictly
Mhm. Yeah,
to Starbucks.
Ethiopian blends
Okay.
are
Okay.
very, very popular. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a very good low acid coffee.
we're kind of like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a question here. I'm just going to make sure I got the right answer before I ask it. So continue on.
Sure.
When I find, we'll continue. We'll go on. Uh,
Okay.
Everything's good for the weekend.
so what?
And the guy from
Now that we're in the middle of the summer, what have you guys been looking for? What is your guys has been like go-tos this summer to drink? How about that? Like, because like summertime.
Go-to summer drink?
Yeah.
Go-to
summer drink.
I was just doing my thing. I just happened to turn around.
Beer or beer and beyond?
We're sick with beer.
Good question.
Stick with beer. Okay, all right.
You know, I don't feel like I completely bought on to New England's until within the last 5 to 6 months. So I feel like I am really going to branch out and drink every New England I can get my hands on this summer.
Okay. See, I drank New England when they first started taking traction.
I feel like I'm one of the. I was slow to buy on. I was just one of those people.
Yeah. But for me, you know what? I've been drinking a lot of wheat beers. I had a Hogarden the other day that actually wasn't too bad. And I've been drinking Hogarden I don't know how long.
Because he's talking about maybe we need to mix the fuel with
Hogarden. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I when it's a really hot day, I'm actually kind of partial to the shandies.
It's a worthy choice.
Just
very summer,
you know?
Very summertime.
Yeah,
absolutely.
She was around Zodiac side.
I've got a homemade cream ale right here in my glass, and it's tasting just fine on an 80-degree day.
Yeah, it's holding up.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think it's evolving nicely. I think the corn flavors are starting to dissipate a little bit.
Okay.
So there's a little bit less of a sweetness on the front end, but I think it's smoothing out. I think that's the effect that time is having on it, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
That's good. I take her there, and she talks.
It's interesting. Right when I said that, I just took a sip, and all I tasted was corn. So that was purely psychological.
So I got what island in the world produces 80% of the fresh vanilla beans?
Oh crap! I've heard this before.
Tahiti?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No,
I don't think you're that far off.
No, you're actually right around there.
Yeah. What island, Paulie? That was the question.
It says it's Madagascar. The one I'm looking at right now. It says Madagascar. 80% of the world's vanilla beans.
Yeah.
And I remember a few years ago, especially at Brew and Grow, Madagascar got hit by some hurricane or something.
I remember that. Yes.
It wiped out like that's why you can't find vanilla anywhere.
Right. At least pure vanilla beans.
Yes. Yeah.
So all you could find that year was extract. That's all there was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it because Tahitian vanilla is really, really good and a very popular thing. So I was thinking maybe it was them, but yeah, Madagascar makes sense. Yeah.
That was a silly fact that I learned working at Brew and Grow. Because we went from carrying 1 pound thing of vanilla beans to like half pound now.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and it was funny because I actually, there was one last pound, and the manager's like, "Yeah, we're not getting those no more." He's like, "I'm like, so what you're saying is I need to take that and put it behind the counter." He's like, "Yeah, you need to do that." Okay. Which I'm actually kind of excited. I get to go back to work on Saturday. Woo! Brew and Grow opens to the public.
Can you walk around the store?
Yeah. They wouldn't have me. They wouldn't have me coming back. We could walk around.
Okay, so customers can come in and walk around.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. I'll go even if I don't have to buy anything.
I'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm
Just
excited.
be around all that beer stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah,
that's
man.
freedom right there.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's like, because like I told you before, this whole time I've been spending so much time on social media and like all it. silly questions you see on there. It's like I'm driving me crazy, and like, well, at least at Brew and Grow, I'm getting paid to answer and deal with all these stupid questions.
All right,
Trying to get
fair enough.
No, not at all. It's far from the podcast is far from the questions I deal with on the intro.
I wouldn't think I wouldn't think George and I are asking those level of questions.
No.
Yeah.
And if you did, I'd have to say something about it.
Yeah.
And you should. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should. Oh man. poor
Although, in
Brando.
all fairness, I have asked Mike at Brew and Grow some really, really basic questions over the last probably 1 to 2 years. And I tell you, I give that guy a world of credit. He has been so patient and so knowledgeable, and he's shared everything. So, hats off to him.
The amount that I've learned from Mike in the past 4 years alone working with him, working side by side with him, and a lot of it was terminology that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
The first day we worked together, he's like, "Yeah, I'm doing a smash beer," and I kind of gave him this look like, "What's a smash beer?" And then he's like, "It stands for this, this, and this." I'm like, "Oh, man, I just did one of those the other day."
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good man.
He
He should come here on the webcast. I think he's anti-social media, though.
No, he's not. But the only problem is, you might be actually. Let me talk to him Friday.
Yeah,
This is hardly social media.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Yeah. See, the whole problem with him is when he's working, Brew and Grow is open till 7:00. That's why I'm not gonna. That's why I won't be able to make the show on Monday because I'll be at work.
Right. Right. Okay.
Mondays. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he's off on Monday. So I'll ask him on Saturday, or even if you want to, Jason, come on in and talk to him.
All right, I'll do it.
Want to take Polly's spot?
Yeah.
I'll totally do it. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I will see you on Saturday then. Oh, Polly's getting a shot. What is Polly getting a shot of?
No, it's not a shot. It's a
Shut up.
It's a
it's
shot of beer.
Abby double. So Uncle Rick was cleaning out his garage, and what'd you find? A case or 12-pack or something like that? He found a box of assorted beers, and they've been in here forever.
Yeah, they're from late 2019. They're boxes from my kids. Always get me that the beer of the month club thing.
Oh, nice.
And these are beers that I put away and mostly forgot about. Mostly stouts and stuff that'll age okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just the other day was moving boxes and thought they were empty, but it's like, oh look, there's beer in here. So this one's pretty tasty. So I was letting Paul try it.
Nice.
It is good.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good. I haven't had a double in a while. Abby double. Wow.
Yeah. Hold it up to the camera and let them see it.
Flying fish, Abby double.
Flying fish, Abby double. Yeah.
All
right.
We're all thinking the same here.
New Jersey. Here, take it back.
Yeah.
I don't even have water there.
Jersey.
Oh, flashbacks to 90s salsa commercials, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Or that was New York
It was
City.
New York City. Yeah, you know what? George, that's right where my brain went to also. This stuff's made in New York City.
That was my pun on it too. So I'm glad you guys. All right, I'll be right back, gentlemen. I need to use the restroom.
All right, cool. Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
Not really related to that at all, but made me think of it for some reason. We were kicking around Hulu, and I saw that Blazing Saddles is in Hulu now.
Ah.
I love me some Blazing Saddles.
It's a classic. A classic movie that you could never make today.
No, absolutely
not in any way, shape, or form.
Would not work
it is so over the top racist. It would never, ever fly.
Yeah,
and because of that, you have to look at that in a historical context.
Well, and
it's
because and he's lampooning all the racists the whole way through it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, I think you'd have troubles getting that to fly today.
No, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you're right. The overall story presents itself just fine, but there is so many jokes that are so over the top racist that it would just never ever fly.
Right. Yeah. No.
Speaking of racist movies, did you guys see
Uh-oh.
that Eddie Murphy Great War movie? That was
Which
pretty
one?
funny. Yeah.
The Eddie Murphy movie, what?
Rudy Ray Moore,
No,
Dolomite.
No.
Rudy Ray Moore.
Oh, Dolomite. Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm drawing a total blank on this. What is it?
It's I don't even know how to describe it. it is kind of what he says, but it's kind of one of those that lampoons racism, but
Okay,
it
okay.
does it by having a bunch of racist tropes in it. So
All right. Okay. All right.
yeah.
Well put. Well put.
So
Yeah.
should we spend the rest of the webcast just telling racist jokes?
We probably shouldn't. No.
No. I mean, it may draw some form of attention here to the webcast.
It
Not the
might,
right attention, but
but that didn't work out for that brewery in Illinois. So let's.
Oh,
let's
yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Okay, are we gonna get into this part? I
Paulie, you missed it. I had suggested that we spend the rest of the episode talking, telling racist jokes. And
I heard it. I was outside. And
Okay. George was not a fan.
No.
So we're not
no,
going to do that.
We don't have the skewering wit of Mel Brooks. I don't think we could make that work.
Right. Totally. Like
You don't have the legal finances.
Yeah, the legal finances.
Or that.
Yeah.
Or that.
Yeah. Or a PR firm to do damage control for us. There you go. That's what we're missing. Not the representation, but a PR firm.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Oh my. So we've been all over the place, but it's been fun.
It has. Yes.
Yeah.
What else? I don't think we got. Do we have any other big topics to cover?
I don't know.
No.
We got trivia.
We did trivia. We did what's your least favorite, most favorite beers?
BJCP styles.
BJCP
That
styles.
that was good. I think we got everything.
I think I want to try to reach out to the BJCP and find out why is the 2018 style guide not catching on? What is happening there?
All right.
Because I'm interested why that's not working.
Founders keepers.
I think you should.
Yeah.
That'd be a worthy contact to have.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we have a website, www.aniceplacetobrew.com. You can check us out this coming Monday, June 8th, here at 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Paulie will not be here in his chair because he will be back at the Brew and Grow store answering some customer questions. Probably some very basic ones.
Yeah, but I'll enjoy it.
I
can pour samples for everybody too. So, actually, I'm kind of curious to see what kind of they have there.
Yeah, exactly. We have a podcast that we do on iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcast from, under the name A Nice Place to Brew. Check us out. And we have social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Nice Place to Brew and A Nice Place to Brew. And check us back this coming Monday at same time, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on the YouTube channel. All right.
Yep.
Raise a glass. It takes a lot of good beer to make great beer. Cheers everybody.
Cheers.